Hello, welcome to an episode of Wing Zero Duality. On this episode, we're going to continue on venturing into what partiality may be. Now, why would someone want to understand partiality? Well, maybe it's because it's the entire functioning of the self. The self who, right? Who, which is you, who categorizes, analyzes, justifies, concludes, believes, disbelieves, all in a series, all in a pattern, all through a mechanical process that may or may not have been strengthened by training, schooling, or education. There. That's it. You can move on if your interest is not to know oneself, but to know something else, something more, something from someone, somewhere. And here in nature, where one can have some space, who is the one separate from oneself? Now, that's not to say that there is nobody else, or there is no one else, or there are not others, but rather, all sensory information is then recorded onto, let's say, the brain, the encoding process, almost like this video camera, and then a relationship with that image begins, doesn't it? One's old stomping grounds, the memories, the images that pertain to a conclusion about. And yet we can only have ever known anything or anyone because the recording, the recorded, is of the past. Hmm? So then, what difference does it make, one may ask? We must use the recording process to intelligently go between timing and distances. When, where. At some point in the evolutionary scale, the human being learned if this, then that. If rubbing two sticks, then fire. And so on from there. It looks like we're living in a world where technology has gotten to the point where it's beginning to understand the mechanical process of knowledge, memory, and experience. It's beginning to be able to, with greater accuracy, precision, be able to formulate logical reasoning, conditional values. And yet, the path is unsustainable. To actually utilize all of those processes, then technology has to utilize natural resources. And if that, then this, which is an unsustainable path. This unsustainable path. So, what then? What is one to do? Take up a political ideology, a political party, a vote, money in one direction or another? Or is the unsustainable path not separate from oneself? Meaning, can the brain, now having come to find that if this, then that, is very much patternized, mechanical, takes up natural resources, which is the brain's resourcing whatever kind of chemicals or nutrients it needs, whatever kind of neural pathways need to be created, cultivated. Can the least amount of energy used provide for the intelligence that ends the unsustainable path, but does not end the path? Perhaps one day, technology and nature can come to a cohesion.